Hello, everyone. My name is Mirna, and on behalf of the Mindalia TV team, welcome to Mindalia live streaming, where thousands of people around the world gather daily to see the lectures and interviews organized by Mindalia TV. Today with us, we have Robin Hallett. Robin is an intuitive healer and guide. She is a liberator of dreams, champion of hearts. Robin helps people with an epic vision to rock their lives. She focuses on finding what lights you up, and then she helps you overcome obstacles preventing you from getting there. But before starting with Robin, we want to remind you that Mindalia's mission is to share information that can help raise the level of consciousness around the world. You can help us by subscribing to our channel, leaving us a positive comment down this video, or sharing it with someone that you know that can benefit of the content that we're going to be talking here today. Also, if we are live streaming, we have an active chat screen you're going to see here on my side or under the video in case that you're following us from a smartphone, and through there you can interact with us. Mindalia wants you to collaborate with us with your own valuable content. And for that, you can go to our website. On the top, you will be finding a link. It says collaborate with Mindalia, and that link takes you to a form that you can fill out for our technical team to be getting in contact with you. And remember that you can collaborate with us in English through Mindalia TV English, but you can also do it in Spanish and in Portuguese through Mindalia Televisión and Mindalia Televisao. Visit our different channels and platforms and visit our Facebook pages and Instagram accounts. With that, you are not only helping us reach as much people in the planet as possible, but you also keep yourself updated with the amazing information that we share there on a daily basis. I'm not delaying this any further, and I have the very great pleasure of saying welcome to Robin Hallett. Robin, how are you? Welcome.
Hello, my friend. I'm so glad to see you again and be with you, and I'm fantastic.
This is a great opportunity, and we met about probably a year ago or so
Yeah.
through this very same channel and platform, and we had a very great show. But I kind of feel that there's a lot more to talk, and maybe more of an interactive conversation. Let's start by talking a little bit about what you do. You are Robin Hallett. You are a champion of hearts. Can you tell us why you call yourself like that, and it feels so fuzzy and so nice?
Yeah, I love it so much. It's funny, I started out thinking I was going to be a doctor long, long time ago. But I've always loved people so much. I genuinely feel this connection and this longing to be of service and to help and to kind of, point things out to people. Sometimes it's very annoying because, not everybody likes to hear that. So I think of it as a champion of the heart because all of us want to feel good. All of us want to feel like we're living the life we feel proud to claim, the one that we envisioned for ourselves since we were little kids, and the heart has so much it's holding and so much it's carrying. And a lot of it is not positive, it's heavy. And so I am a champion of the heart and I want to help liberate it so it can soar, so that we just feel like I love my life. I'm so proud of myself. I love what I'm doing. So that's kind of in a nutshell what I do with people is help them get there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, wow, it's I love the fact that you say you wanted to be a doctor, because in the end, you are a healer. You
Yeah.
definitely are a healer. Just the sound of your voice,
Yeah.
it has a different frequency, and I'm pretty sure you've heard it before.
Yes. I
Uh,
have heard that. Yeah.
and Robin, you were talking about what burdens our heart. It's very frequent and known, within this field that we are not taught how to deal with those energies. That in the end they are not bad. They keep us grounded. They are the anchor to this material world,
Yeah.
but we are very, I'm gonna say, negligent. We were never taught, but we are now learning how to understand our light and our shadow. What are we supposed to be doing with that burden? How do we deal with the burden so we can actually have the machine, with all its cylinders just working perfectly fine?
I love that. You're so good at questions. And before I answer that, how do I move you up so I'm looking at you instead of you're down
Mm,
here?
You
You know?
just have to click the squares. If you
Okay.
click your square, you see yourself. If you click my square, you see
Oh,
me.
thank God. I
And
don't
if
wanna look at okay, there. I don't
yeah,
wanna look at
in
myself the whole time.
exactly. If you leave it unclicked without the white frame outside, it will just come up with the person that's talking.
Okay, good. This is
Sound
better
that?
for me. I'm super relational. I'd like to be looking at you. Okay. So, the heart, I think it's very interesting what you said, growing up. And I was just talking about this on my last podcast. We were made to feel bad about being upset, about being sad or down or just grumpy, and it's like this generation today, maybe they know as kids because we are better parents than ever before, I truly feel. So we help our kids feel, we do our best to let them be how they are and express themselves. But when we were growing up, when I was growing up, that was a common thing. My mom would say, go back to your room until you can come out and be happy. So I think very early you get taught in your own way to stuff it in, and it's not welcome. Only a happy thing is welcome. A happy face, a happy statement, a positive vibe. And so, what do you do with those feelings? Where do they go? And as kids, we internalized a lot of things that were going on that weren't even ours. My parents were divorced more than once. My mom was remarried and divorced. Where does all that stuff go? As kids, we take it in, we make it about us. And without doing our healing work, we don't know that it's not ours to carry. We don't know that it's not about us. So we go around the world, and if the lady at the grocery store is bitchy, it's our fault. On some level, energetically, we carry something around that. Not everybody, and not 100% of the time, but for the most part. So at some point, hopefully, as adults, we go through our own awakening process. Something happens in our lives and we realize, oh, wow, there's a lot going on in my heart. There's a lot I'm feeling, I'm not doing okay. And hopefully we start a journey. We pick up a book or see a healer or listen to a podcast or go to YouTube, and find all these amazing supports and start to open up our awareness.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that answers it, but
Yes,
yeah,
I love it. Or as I
yeah,
like to call it, just allow information to find you. Open
yeah.
yourself and let everything that is out there just bump into you. I
Ah,
agree with you. We are never encouraged to feel. In my
yeah,
case, it's exactly like that. Oh, don't be upset. Oh,
yeah.
don't cry. But
Stop.
what if I
Yeah,
want to cry? Like,
yeah,
let me get it out. And the other way, what I realized was that we are not taught how to handle the feelings happen, it's out there, we are in life, we are experiencing things, and we just suppress.
yep,
Or you are upset and they say don't be upset and don't be angry, and
yeah.
you suppress and you put it down and you put it down, and all of a sudden you have, it's just a septic tank.
Yeah. Ooh, that's so good because that's literally what happens. Energetically speaking, this is where people get the problems.
And I learned very recently, because I was always like talked before. Oh, why do you get so angry? Why are you so reactive to things? Because it happens. It's my nature. So,
Yeah.
and I understood that I was like, I'm not angry today. I've been angry for years,
Right.
and sometimes I allow myself just to open the valve a little bit, and it comes out so strong because there's years of septic and dirtiness in there. And I started, you know what? I'm going to be upset and it's okay. And I'm
Yeah.
going to say a couple of horrible words and it's going to have to be okay. And then I'm going to have to go outside and clean it up and say, I'm sorry. And I've been teaching my daughter that, because like we do the same. Whenever my
Yeah.
daughter is sad, I'm like, don't cry. And now when she tells me I'm sad or I'm upset, I'm like, okay, cry for a little bit.
Yeah.
Allow yourself, give yourself permission to be sad. And when it's done, you can be whatever you want again. If she wants to be happy, she can. But if she doesn't feel like it,
Yeah.
Let's deal with it.
That is so good. And you touched on something right there that I was thinking about. We're not perfect. And so we grew up how we grew up. And then we have kids. And I was thinking about this time I said to our oldest daughter, she was 5, and she did a face plant in the snow. We were sledding, and she came up full of snow, crying, just full out. And you know what I said? If you keep doing that, I'm not going to play with you anymore. And I was like, oh my God, that is my mother. And that's like another layer of the healing is we think we have to be perfect. We think, I'm never going to do what was done to me. And then there you are, your first opportunity, you screw it up. It seems like you do the same thing and you're just so disgusted with yourself. But this is where the healing comes in and where you say, okay, wow, I got something to work on there. And you can go to your kid and say, I am so sorry. I heard myself sound like my mother, and yuck, I don't want to do that to you. Let's have a do-over. But then love yourself, because wow, who I recognize that when you said it, that awareness to understand this is not how I want to be is everything there, because there are people who aren't aware and they just keep repeating and repeating and rewounding, themselves and others. So this is it's something to celebrate.
I know. And that, like, forget the shame. Just what you say,
Yeah.
oh, I'm my mom. And then you're like, oh my, you know what else? Our siblings shape us
Yeah.
incredibly. I remember when I was little, back in the 80s, my mother used to say to us, because we all have the house all messy. We were 4 girls and we would just watch TV all day. And she would say, next time you want to see me, you're going to have to go to the cemetery because you killed me.
Oh
Out of
God.
worry or whatever.
Yeah.
So we kind of laughed and we said like, she doesn't mean it, but in the end we kind of were scared. So whenever I was crying for something, my other sister, she's 6 years older than me, but she taught me everything. I just
Mhm.
wanted to be like her.
Ah,
You know what she would tell me? She would say like, Tate, you have to stop crying because remember, when my mom dies, then you're not gonna have any tears left, and people are gonna see you like you're not crying. They're gonna think you didn't love her.
oh
And that
my
it's
God.
right now we laugh like we're having dinner or
Yeah.
whatever, and we laugh at the occurrences of a little child. And my mom, she's so ashamed, and we just tell her, Mom, it's okay,
Yeah.
you were just repeating mistakes from the past. But
Yeah.
how many times things like that have been said to us and we carry that? We have no idea why we get upset when we encounter certain element.
Yeah.
What do you do to help people like just encounter and revisit and just throw that garbage out?
I think it's so good. I love that story too. I love that story. I think we all had little things our moms and dads said to us, and it's liberating to hear you share something of your own. um, this is interesting. I met somebody this week in a healing session, and he was like, "I have everything. I'm so financially set. I have an excellent career. I'm in a great relationship." And he said, I have anxiety like you cannot believe. I can't get over it. I am so upset. I'm anxious. Sometimes I just want to lay in bed. Things really freak me out. Having to go back to work on Tuesday freaks me out. And I could hear it. He was so hard on himself. And he kept equating, I'm successful and I have everything I ever wanted. So this shouldn't be. And you know what I mean? It's like, this shouldn't be, this should fix everything. And it doesn't, because we're not seeking for a certain kind of, look or a certain number. We think, we think that will make us happy, but we realize those are nice, but it's still not contact with the self. So I always feel like the first step is to go inside and make contact with the self and try, with these feelings with you on the inside, and to say, there's nothing wrong with you. And I want to get to know how you operate, because some of us do have we're up and down, especially if we're creatives. I always say the pendulum swings really wide, so our moods can really shift. So that's the first piece, is getting to know you and stop, you said it, stop shaming yourself. I have everything. I shouldn't be upset. I worked on this in therapy. Why is this, or he was saying there's no reason for his upset. He just is. So, yeah, step one, got to go in here and start to make contact and not be so bothered, by our own stuff.
Why are we so disconnected? And this is my question: have we always been this disconnected, but the consciousness, the reality in which we lived was okay with it, and we are just realizing that we are disconnected? Or something happened in the last years in which people started like waking up and actually realizing that you were like unplugged from the source?
I love that. I think growing up, when we were growing up, so you were in the 80s, I was in the 80s. Well, I'm 50 now, so a little difference there, but we didn't have a lot of the stuff we have today. And there was a lot more time to interact with other people. And this is my thought on that. We could internalize a lot of the upset that was going on that wasn't being dealt with or spoken about. I do think every generation gets better at being open and talking about feelings. I mean, like you said, look at us today, so much more awake and aware, and channels like yours, programs like yours all around the world. So it's different today. But also, we just kept internalizing things, and because nobody was talking about it, that did make a disconnect, because now you're carrying a shame and you're pushing it down more. And maybe I had a story that nobody wanted to be with me, nobody wanted to be around me, and so you kind of carry that around. And that disconnect is, you're not telling anybody, but you're still going to school, you're still going to these family gatherings, and there's a huge gap there. And flash forward to today, this is my own feeling, what I tune into. I think our world with phones and technology has actually driven us to go back inside, but now we're waking up. I don't have such a negative view about people aren't connecting and there's no intimacy anymore. I feel like this has contributed to an inner awareness that we've never been able to access before. In a way, I know people check out. I'm not saying I don't see that, but I know for me, in a way, it's really helped me just to be in myself and learn how to have contact with all this stuff we're talking about and practice. So, yeah, just some thoughts there.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it because I kind of realize that one of the biggest fear people have is just being by themselves with their own thoughts.
Yeah.
And I never knew why until I realized, and I said, like, oh my God, who wants to be with an ogre? Because we are the worst to ourselves. It's like when you're with yourself, you start treating yourself so poorly. Like the inner dialogue, the words we tell to ourselves are horrible. No wonder why
Yeah.
we don't want to be by ourselves, because it's like going to court with the worst judge. And
Yeah.
so that is part of what you do. People get to mingle with their inner self and to make peace with them.
Yeah, learn how to handle it. That's right. And how you said it, our mind is a terrible place to be so much of the time. And so alone time, and people will say to me, I can't meditate because the minute things get still, the chatter gets really bad and it gets very stressful and upsetting, and I can't do it. And this is why we have to learn to make peace, because that narrator, whatever, is just running the plays, trying to engage us in upset, is just an ego. It's really not, it's really not even our essential self. So we have to start practicing. And that is, so sometimes I do sit with people and we practice together. For 1 minute, we'll sit and I'll instruct them through some things. But until that, it is a block, and it's usually right around here for people. between the heart center and the throat center. Um, until that starts to ease, it's like we'll never be at peace. And just picture that for the rest of your life, never being at ease, never being at peace, always needing to self soothe and disconnect because you can't stand the company you keep when you're alone, you know? So, wow.
Yes, it's a lot to process, right?
Yeah.
So if we wanted to do like chronological order, how
Yeah.
it happens, first you make peace with yourself, you understand that okay, this is a safe space, this is Switzerland, nobody's going to attack you, you're fine.
I love that. Yeah,
You're
exactly.
fine. And once you start being compassionate to yourself and you are at peace, here comes like my favorite element of all of them, which, and we also shame that so much, joy.
Yeah.
We forget how to play, we forget how to laugh, we think it's silly, it's dumb, it's a loss of time. How do you see that? Because I kind of see you, you're so colorful
Yeah.
and so sparkly, and one of the descriptions that you have is a sparkler of joy, a
Yeah.
sparkler of light.
Yeah.
Doesn't come to me unless like I don't see it, but with joy and happy elements. How do we get used to, again, to being that little person that it's happy to be in this planet?
Dang, you are good at asking questions. I love this. Well, I made a little list here. It's so funny. It's exactly what you just asked me.
We're connected.
Yeah, this this path to healing is about self-love. So once you've really identified, like, I do need to get in there and love myself, even if I don't like what's going on, I still got to commit. I'm the only one who could have my own back. And that is kind of freaky when you think about it. You are with yourself 24/7. And if you're not going to make a commitment, and this is what I ask people to do, make a commitment. Sometimes I make them pinky swear me in session, like I make them do it. I don't care who they are. We're going to do that, that you will do everything you can to love and honor you, no matter what your objections are. You'll just keep saying, okay, but I still, no matter what, I love you and I'm with you and I'm going to have your back. So from there, we start to work on the joy. And the truth is, I study the Course in Miracles. I have for a very long time. I don't know why it doesn't lose itself from me. You know how you lose interest, but it teaches so profoundly on this principle that we keep upset close like a cloak. We keep pulling it to us, not us, our me and you, our essential self that comes from spirit or the divine lifetime after lifetime, but the ego self that is asleep and wants to stay asleep. It wants to stay upset. That's its only function. It wants separation from spirit, from that light. So it's working so hard and it's trying lots of different ways. This is all going on in our heads, you know. So it's trying like, Mirna, oh, da 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 da. And you're like, oh, ego, go away. But then it brings another topic and another and another. And maybe one of those catches you off guard and you forget. So this is why we have to practice so much, knowing upset is just part of it. It's not a big deal. Like I tell people, you know how to unsubscribe from emails you don't want to get, right? That's the same thing with the thought.
I
You
love the
can,
analogy.
yeah, you can practice. I know it's not easy, and depending on the topic, some is harder than another, but we can practice. So once you get there, then you understand joy is your birthright and joy is your purpose. Joy is your purpose. So, what you see in me is a woman living her purpose who promises to be lit up and committed to that, to sharing love and forgiveness, to sharing about how we can move past these obstacles by taking responsibility for our own journey. And then it's like joy everywhere. But yeah, you know, we were taught in a way like you have to suffer to feel joy. Think about it. Do your chores, then you can play. Eat your dinner, then you get dessert. finish your homework, then you can watch TV. What other examples can you think of? We were
Exactly. That's the
we were
culture we
trained.
lived in, the culture of sacrifice is what we were talking, the grind,
Yeah,
the work hard. I it has come a point in which I don't identify myself with that anymore. I'm like, but why if I'm not supposed to suffer?
you and I talked about that before we went live. It's like, no, we don't have to grind. That's a story.
And that's so
We
3D.
Yeah, we can call it to us and we can believe in a principle of joy and peace. Um, but joy and peace, I think, is terrifying for a lot of people because it feels like stillness.
Yeah, you think you're gonna be eaten by the tiger behind the bushes,
Yeah.
right?
And the other thing is, I really, really believe if even if you're not a spiritual person, see what you think about this, that there's some fundamental, deep, deep knowing fear, not true, but fear. If I'm at peace, I will die. Like I'm going to be taken. All my work here will be done. And what will I need to be here for? So struggle somehow unconsciously feels connected to being alive. And holy cow, what if we could start? I mean, like, wow, what if we could work on that? I'm sure this is in many more spiritual texts. I've read this in the Bhagavad Gita. I like that. You just got a ding
Uh-huh.
to affirm what I'm saying. Yeah. But, it's in so many texts as well. Like we fear the light because we think, we're going to get sucked up into the light.
Yeah, like a fly.
Yeah. But
Don't look
no,
at the light.
I
Exactly.
know.
How about if we,
You remember
the
that movie? I was just thinking, don't go into the light. Yeah.
yes,
So,
yes, yes. It's a child in me that's more awake than anybody else.
yep.
But yes, you're right. Because and in a way, I kind of understand that this is something that we can have as an anchor to keep belonging to this, you know,
Yes.
3D place
Yep.
like space and time. But how about starting to, because also the light is going to be blinding if you throw it all at once.
Yeah.
But how about you start being like a tiny Christmas tree light?
I
And
love
then
that.
from that, you get a bit bigger and bigger and voltage until your time to leave is soon. So you can afford to let light take you.
That's genius. And that's really, we could ease into it. It doesn't have to be like, I think we do approach with our suffering story, we approach this idea of being joyful or having fun as a heavy burden that's going to be really overwhelming. And so people will even think like, okay, I'll try meditating. I'm not meditating. I can't sit for 90 minutes. Well, who sits for 90 minutes trying to come to joy and peace? How about 1 minute? Just I like that. Baby steps. I go outside every day and I stand for 1 minute in the grass every single day. I just breathe in and breathe out. That's enough, you
We
know?
forget how to do that.
Yeah, just gentle and easy. And then you get to go play. You get to go do all the things you love, discovering that you actually enjoy things like certain kinds of hard work is awesome. And then you can be joyful. Like, I can't believe how many things I can get done in a week for my healing practice, all the things I offer for free. I put out content. I have so much fun. It lights me up so much. It's not work, it's not heavy. So I think that too is like choosing to see that as a practice of learning to be in your joy instead of complaining. Do you know people who are like, oh, it was such a heavy day. It was so, I don't see it that way. Like it's fun.
Because it's kind of our culture. People, it's like popular and trendy to say how rough it is,
Yeah.
how how
Yeah.
horrible is your life. Do
Yeah.
like let's stop complaining and let's say yay Monday. If
Yeah.
you're doing something you love, like right now I'm doing something I completely love, so
Same.
Monday comes and I'm like, yes, I get
Yeah.
to meet someone awesome.
Yeah.
But if when I was doing other things, yes, that was my reality. I had to go to the office and I was like, no,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
Until you find yourself where you're supposed to be. And that comes with my next question. How do we because one of the things also that you have here is that find it she focuses on finding what lights you up, and
Yeah.
you help people overcome the obstacles that separate you from what you want or what you're
Yeah.
supposed to be doing, what in the end is what you want, but we are never taught to actually pursue what we want. We
No.
are taught to pursue what we're supposed to be pursuing. The
Yeah.
high corporate job, the blah 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 blah. But what if I want to be a carpenter?
Yeah.
And they say no, that's not marketable or that's not profitable. So can you share with us a little bit of what you do to help people actually identify the obstacle and help them go after their purpose?
Yeah. So, great. I love that. So you definitely are here to shine a light for other people. Every single one of us is here to do that. Maybe you're not going to be a healer, but you're going to be a carpenter, or a gardener or something, who knows? But it will come from a place of, this is what I'm excited about. This is what I want to do. This is what I think about. Um, this is what I dream about. There's something pinging your own heart, asking you, do this, explore this, take this class, learn about this. That to me is the purpose starting to open up like a flower and talking to you. Um, there are people who are 30 years, times are changing. So pensions are going away, and all this idea of staying at a company for your whole life is going away. But that was another generation where people thought, I have to stay and, yes, get a reliable job. A lot of creatives tell me they were pushed to do reliable jobs. But still, this thing that excites you and you can't stop thinking about, why not go and let yourself explore, trusting you matter. Your wishes and desires are non-negotiable. You have made the commitment. I did not make us all pinky swear, but we have made, I'm going to assume we made the commitment to love and honor ourselves and have our own backs. So let's find out. Let's go explore something that's calling us, and see what the next piece is. Trusting we're on a bit of a mission from spirit, because truly each of us is here to shine a light for others, to be a light bringer, a light bearer. And that is the work. So I see that all the time in my work where people are like, this is stupid. I want to play guitar, but I'm too old now. I want to do art, but this is ridiculous. Somebody the other day was saying, who has this great corporate gig and put a lot of education in, all this person can think about is teaching. It's not ballet, but it's that new blend of bar
Zumba.
classes. No,
Oh,
bar.
wow, that's amazing.
And I'm seeing the possibilities, like, it's not just $10 an hour as a teacher. You could have a studio. You could run a thing, it could expand, and you could be doing what you love and helping others. So why not follow our hearts and trust, you
Yes.
know, trust.
Because we've been washed in a crazy way in which we understand that we are only acceptable or lovable if we are, one, producing a crazy amount of money, and
Yeah.
two, if we are doing what everybody else is doing, and we're running the wrong race. If
Right.
you're all aiming to the one prize that is somebody else's prize, that is not yours.
Yeah.
Because you could have, yeah, that corporate gig, but if you're still miserable and sad, as I have been before, then you're not, nothing is gonna get you there through that path. You're gonna have to run and go to another path, and maybe the prize is an olive, but that's the olive you wanted.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Yeah. That's so good. If we could line up, our earthly credentials, just pile them up, all the things we've done in the name of becoming somebody, fitting in, all the stuff. I think this would be the hugest mountain you could ever see. All those diplomas that nobody's using. And I'm not even disrespecting that journey at all. I don't mean to sound that way, but well, let's just do what we want to do. And you don't have to quit your day job, but spend some time. If you're called to garden or, I don't know, make art, let's go. The
Exactly.
soul is asking. And so much of the time, I feel that sometimes we reject it because painting, for a living, it might not appeal to the soul, to you. But maybe the soul is asking you to paint so it can give you the next instruction. You see, like it's trying to get you to open your heart and drop your defenses and be a little more connected to spirit, like the hive mind, your high sense perception. And you only do that when you're in your joy. So that's the bonus of learning to be happy.
Wow, I love it.
You will not get any guidance in your ego mind, in your upset. You only get more from the ego channel.
I
Terrible
love
place. Yeah.
it. I
Terrible
love it.
broadcast. Yeah.
Exactly. And I am with you. Like it's not that we are against that world. It's just that and we understand that sometimes you have to run it before
Yeah. Right there.
it's not. So how do you find the cup in the cabinet if you don't go through all the cabinets before? You
I
have
love
to
that.
open all the doors, and if that door works for you, that is great. You don't need to keep looking, but all the other people that have been opening and opening doors,
Yeah.
like let something else guide you.
Yeah.
Is there any I know that it's not rituals, but we're still people that we enjoy like the symbolism of doing something
Yeah.
that it's going to represent for us something else. To be simple,
I love
new
you.
new
Yeah. I love what you just
yeah,
asked me.
yeah, New Year's Eve, for
Yeah.
example, we make a toast.
Yeah.
It means nothing, but to us it represents that we're starting a new year and we're fresh. So what do you want to share with us? Something that at least it helps you get in that groove of that spiritual awakening.
That's funny. We are so on the wavelength because right as you were talking, I saw Louise Hay looking in the mirror saying, I love you. I really, really love you. I would say, and I have a little mirror right here. You can't see it, but oh, here. I just keep a little mirror right
I
there on
love
my
it. It's
desk.
so cute.
Yeah. And mirror work. Be willing. And I can hear the collective groan already. You got to make peace with what you look like. You have to make peace with what your body looks like. Let's move on already, people. We are amazing beings that come from somewhere else. We are made of star stuff. Let's be so in love with who we are and honor the shell we're in, but not be so tied to, oh my God, look at my wrinkles, my bags, my fat, flabby arms. I can do that with the best of them, but I ask you to try some mirror work. Look in the mirror, and maybe um, for a while, just move in and look into your own eyes. You don't have to take in your whole face, and you don't have to say, I love you, Myrna, I love you, Robin, if you can't do it. But we were talking about those baby steps. So that's one piece I think would be amazing. And the other piece is we were talking about my altar a little while ago. Have an altar. There's a photo here of me when I was a very little girl, when some of the worst stuff went down in my life. And I still have her there and I still talk to her and kind of work with that because I don't know if it ever 100% goes away. Like we were saying, we have these unconscious moments where something comes out that is totally not awakened. So those would be my two: mirror work and a little altar to celebrate you, to make that, how I keep saying the pinky swear, make that commitment. I'm going to love you. I'm going to have your back no matter what. Even if it's hard, I'm going to do it.
I love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
me too.
I think we are right in time to wrap this up.
Okay.
We have talked so much and
I
I
know.
feel this so blissful, so relaxing. I just like it and I really hope someone else gets to see this and enjoy it with ourselves
Yeah.
the way we did. But before leaving, Robin, I want to ask you, how can our audience find you?
I love Instagram. So if you like Instagram, find me there. It's Robin Hallett and my website, robinhallett.com. I've got a new podcast, new 41 episodes so far, a YouTube channel if you like YouTube, and a blog, So come hang out with me. Look me up there.
That's amazing. And through those channels, they can actually contact you if they wanted you to accompany them in their healing journey.
Yeah.
You can be contact through there, right? Because you handle your social media yourself, right?
All of it. Yeah, I do everything myself. So, and that's important. I'm the only one you'll ever talk to because this is
Okay.
deep stuff. So, yeah. I have a page called Work With Me on my website that kind of outlines how I work with people. So, yeah, if anyone's interested, you can go there.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be great, and
Yeah.
I have no doubt of your capability of sparkling light.
Thank you. I love
Thank
this so much. And thank you for asking me again.
No, I
So
love
good.
it. I love it. I had it in my mind for a while. Thank you for allowing the Mindalia TV community being a channel for your ideas, for your love. That's all you are, your love.
Thank you.
Thank you again. And to our audience, thank you for being with us, for tuning. Remember, liking, subscribing, going to our different platforms in Spanish, Mindalia Televisión, and in Portuguese, Mindalia Televisao, and in English, of course, Mindalia TV English. And
Amazing what you've built. I'm
thank you.
so like, wow. Yeah.
Thanks. From our heart to yours, we're sending you a very big heart, uh, a very big hug. And
And
until
heart.
next,
I love them
yes,
too.
exactly. Our heart is out there.
I love it.
Thank you. Until next time. Bye bye.
Bye, everybody.